Hey everybody, hope you're doing good. We're continuing our reading of The Sword of Allah. Shout out to the person who recommended it a while back, and they knew who they were. It was a very great recommendation, spot on. Alright, so we're on page 61, okay? The situation gradually worsened for the Allies too, so that discontent raised its head in their ranks. The Arabs were not used to long sieges and preferred quick, lively battle to this form of warfare. I mean, they're more entertaining, the live action ones, you know what I mean? Sieges is like the wait game. It's quite different type of psychology needed, right? To render the results you want. The weather had remained unpleasant and began to cause a good deal of distress among the allies. Food also ran short. As Abu Sufyan had made no arrangements for provisions to tide them over such a long period of time, well, he's fired. But since the allies were not themselves under siege, some measures were hastily taken to gather provisions from outlying areas. The men began to grumble, and Abu Sufyan had to think hard to find some way out of this impasse. Finally, he consulted Huyay the Jew, and the name is spelled Huyayy. It's the first time I've ever seen a name with 3 Y's. And between them they hit upon a new plan which showed every promise of success. On the night of Friday, March 7th, Huyay stole into the settlement of Bani Qurayza, that's the Jewish tribe. He knocked at the door of their leader, Ka'b bin Asad. Okay, that's the Qurayza leader. But the latter, guessing that Huyay had come as a Jew and probably intended to incite his fellow Jews against the Prophet, refused to see him. After some wrangling, however, Huyay was allowed in, and he gently and cleverly began to work on Ka'b, pressing him to join the allies in the war against the Muslims. At first Ka'b refused. Quote, "Muhammad has kept his pact with us, and we have no reason to complain," he said. "In any case, you have no certainty of victory." I mean, who has certainty? You know what I'm saying? "If we join you and the campaign fails, your idol worshippers will go back in peace to their homes, and we will have to bear the brunt of the wrath of Muhammad." End quote. But the visitor continued. Notice how he's like, "Oh, you and your idol worshippers will just go back to doing what you're doing." Kind of really emphasizing indirectly their wishy-washiness. Now threatening, now tempting, now begging, and eventually got Ka'b to agree to a pact with the allies. According to the terms of this pact, there would be a simultaneous attack by the allies and the Bani Qurayza. Oh, a simultaneous smackdown. These Jews had their settlement and their forts 2 miles southeast of Medina, and they would attack from this direction and draw some of the Muslims away from the ditch while the allies attacked frontally. Oh! Wow. Okay. They both are going to have a simultaneous attack. So the allies and the Bani Qurayza tribe are going to, boom, go in there. 2 miles southeast of Medina. So they want to draw out the Muslims. Look at that. Because the Muslims have the advantage of the ditch, but look how they're like, hey, well, we're going to try to get them away from their advantage. In case the attack failed, the allies would leave a strong garrison in the Jewish forts to defend the Jews against the Muslims who were bound to turn against them in revenge. The Bani Qurayza asked for 10 days to prepare themselves before the attack was begun, during which period the allies could continue minor operations from the north. Okay, so the Qurayza's like, hey, give us 10 days, man, we gotta stack up, we gotta get ready. The allies are like, okay, while you stack up and get ready, we are going to continue the minor operations. Notice this, minor operations adding up to the bigger game. Thus the last of the Jews of Medina, following in the footsteps of their co-religionists, broke their pact with the Muslims. Little did they know how heavily they would pay for their perfidy. It was not long before the Prophet came to know about this pact. He got the intelligence through one of his agents who entered the camp of the allies one night and, unknown to them, overheard certain conversations. Ah, yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I love it when that happens. It's like someone hears, they're there at the right time, like a fly on the wall, and they hear like what's going on, and then go and get that message out. See, dang, you don't need Twitter for that. You know what I mean? Then rumors of the pact also spread, and the report was ultimately confirmed by the incident of Safiya and the Jew. Safiya was an aunt of the Prophet, and along with other women and children had moved to a small fort on the southeastern part of Medina. Okay, I'm gonna write her name. Safiyya. That's the aunt of the Prophet, peace be with him. Present in the fort was Hassan the poet. Oh yeah, remember that guy? I remember that guy. And he was the only man there. One day, Safiya, looking down from the fort, saw a fully armed Jew moving stealthily beneath the wall, as if seeking a way around the fort. Oh, that's pretty cool. Just imagine spotting someone. Your adrenaline would be like through the roof. You feel that pulsatingness, right? It's like you see someone, you see that they're like, they're on the opposite team, and whew. Safiya once concluded that he was a scout of the Bani Qurayza who had been sent to reconnoiter a route which the Jews might take in their attack. So he's like, hey, we gotta scoop out the fort, find a way around it. And notice, like, that's the minute details of warfare. Is like, notice how, remember they said they were going to continue their minor attacks, right? And now you have them sending different scouts out. A lot of people seem to always concentrate on the big battles of warfare instead of the smaller ones that kind of like led up to that. It's very interesting, man. It's very cool to read this type of stuff. This Jew would act as a guide, leading his tribe into the unprotected rear of the Muslims. Safiya went to the poet and said, "O Hassan, there is a Jew who is seeking a way by which he can lead the Bani Qurayza to attack our settlements from the rear. You know that the Messenger of Allah and all the men are busy at the front and cannot attach forces to protect us. This man must be killed. Go and kill him at once." Oh my gosh, think about that. Well, they're taking care of business. The rear is not, well, this particular position isn't as well guarded and can be defended as readily. And Safiya is there at the perfect moment when she spots it. Isn't that cool? And then is able to go to the poet, which is kind of funny because, the poet's got to do the job, He says, hey, do it. "May Allah bless you, O daughter of Abdul Muttalib," replied Hassan. "You know that such work is for me." Throwing a glance of contempt at the poet, Safiya picked up a club, tied a waistband around her waist, and went down to meet the Jew. Picked up a club. Dude, I wonder what it looked like. It's like a big old pow, like the kind in the Far Cry Primal, that video game. Oh, that'd be awesome. The brave lady killed the Jew. See that? That's pretty awesome. She was like, you know what? Just do it myself. And she went and got a club, bro. It was like... Leaving him lying with a crushed skull and a pool of blood, she returned to the fort and said to Hassan, "I have killed him. O Hassan, now go and take the booty from his body, for it is not right for a woman to undress a man." "May Allah bless you, O daughter of Abdul Muttalib," replied Hassan. "I have no need for such booty." So treasure, you know what I mean? Dang, so she's like, hey, she goes down there. First she tries to, alert someone, a guy, to do it, and he doesn't do it, and she knows how important the situation is. She takes it into her own hands, handles business. Alright, that's pretty cool. We have to remember her name. And, she didn't just knock him out. She, like, as it says, crushed his skull, made sure the job was done. Not like, boink, and then, like, barely tap him. He passes out. He wakes up and then scurries off. No, she's like, I gotta make sure that he's gone. Oh, history is amazing, man. And I bet you that guy was so surprised. Killed by a woman. He was probably so surprised. He was probably thinking, like, okay, no one's really here. If I'm just really stealthy, no one will see me. Nah, You know what I mean?